and gentlemen, welcome to Grace P. Johnson Stadium for tonight's Robeson County Schools Night game as your UNC Pembroke Braves host the Saints of Limestone College. Please welcome to the field the Spirit of the Carolinas Marching Band.
Cheer with us for the UNCP Fight Song! Hail to UNCP! Let us rise as one nation under God and one people for the playing of our national anthem. Our colors are presented today by the Army ROTC unit. song was the original fight song from Pembroke State University, and the band honors that tradition by playing it to form the tunnel to welcome the team.
Ready. It is a perfect Saturday night for football here in North Carolina as the UNC Pembroke Braves play host to the Limestone Saints. UNCP, an opportunity to win back-to-back games for the first time since November of 2016. Alongside Brandon Hodge, I'm John Gross, live from Grace P. Johnson Stadium on the UNCP Sports Network. And Brandon, last week UNCP, a 28-14, pretty commanding win. They controlled that game from start to finish against Catawba College. What did you like from the Braves last Saturday?
Well, I liked everything for the Braves, and my honest opinion. Offense, defense, special teams, they played with a lot of effort last week, and I especially liked how they transformed that performance against Virginia State, closing those gaps on those rush defense and containing the outside runs as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the rush defense. Just 2 weeks ago against Virginia State, the Braves gave up 394 rush yards. Last week, they held Catawba to 109. That's some significant improvement right there in just a week.
Yeah, against Virginia State, 2 100-plus yard rushers in that game for Virginia State. Definitely an improvement last week against Catawba.
And they'll have quite the task defensively as they look to handle Jerkoya Patton, star running back for Limestone this week. He's a tough task for sure.
Yeah, Jerkoya Patton averaging 4.5 yards per carry. He's not the only back on this team as well. They have another running back in Malik Brooks. The Saints also, he's the transfer out of the Citadel, has 107 yards on 22 carries this season. Expect him to have a good amount of carries as well today.
Devin Jones' return gets out to just the 15. Good coverage by Limestone. So UNCP will start first. We spoke about Josh Sheridan a little bit. Career night for him last week, 20 carries and a $154 on the ground as well. But they're led by Josh Jones, just a sophomore quarterback. He's looked great this season.
Yeah, he has. And the problem for the Saints on their side, they've had quarterback struggles throughout the first 3 games of the season. DJ Phillips, the 6'7" Marshall University transfer, struggled to hit 50% of his targets for completions to start the year.
An early jump defensively. It's a free play for UNCP. And the pass is completed to Tyshawn Carter. We'll see what the Braves do with this offsides.
And getting back to DJ Phillips, he was a quarterback who led the South Atlantic Conference in passing yards per game throughout last season, set multiple records for Limestone, and is the Saints' all-time leader in passing yards, attempts, and completions. Only had 6 interceptions for the entire season last season, already 4 through 3 games this season. For the Saints to have a shot to win tonight, he will have to have a great game.
UNCP 2-1 of the season. Limestone, they're 0-3. In fact, this is a Saints side that they've lost 15 straight games, winless since October 21st of 2017 as Sheridan gets his first carry of the night for a yard. And in those 15 consecutive losses, just 1 loss was by single digits, the rest by double digits.
And Limestone this season, they've had a tough schedule. Their first 2 games of the season had to face ranked opponents in West Georgia, and that's a tough schedule if you ask me.
Yeah, they played pretty well against West Georgia, losing that one just 24-14. A second and 9 rush again for Sheridan. Gets him up to the 31. That's a gain of 3. 3rd down and medium for UNCP.
And the other team is West Alabama. So Limestone put up 450 yards of total offense against West Alabama.
Third and 6 for UNCP. Braves go 5 receivers for the second time in this drive. Jones. Pressure. He could run with the football, and he has a lane. Josh Jones, first down yardage and more across midfield. Jones this season, 89 rushing yards, a pair of touchdowns. We saw him at the season opener, 71 yards on the ground against Winston-Salem.
That play there, the pressure came for Josh Jones. He read it completely, saw the pressure coming, gets outside of the pocket, sees a running lane, gets a huge first down in Catawba territory.
Picks up 23 on the rush. And a fresh set it down for the Braves. Short pass to Sam Vines. Cuts up to the 40 as he picks up about 6. Jones, pretty efficient passer this season, 58% through the air, 4 touchdowns to just 1 interception.
I think for the Saints, they allow 215 yards per game through the air. Definitely, at disadvantage going against Josh Jones and the UNCP air attack tonight.
2nd and 4. Inside handoff, and Nelson is bottled up. DeAnthony Cowan on the tackle. Sets up a 3rd down and manageable for UNCP. You mentioned the numbers this year defensively for Limestone. This is a completely revamped defensive coaching staff. New DC and Eric Fargo, the former defensive coordinator at Kutztown in Pennsylvania, and a new defensive line coach. He's familiar to maybe some Limestone fans or also fans of South Carolina, the Gamecocks. Cliff Matthews, 7 professional seasons in the NFL and in the CFL, was 3-time All-SEC, and he's the D-line coach. So they have some new coaches, but they've struggled this season. 3rd and 4 for Jones, and the Braves again convert. That's a reception for Shaman Hicks, who now has a catch in 15 consecutive games.
Josh Jones there, a little rollout play, gets it to the receiver, textbook play, 1st down, UNCP.
First and 10, UNCP. And again, the D-line jumps. Jones takes a shot, and it's incomplete. Tyshawn Carter could not get a foot down in bounds. That was a close one, though.
And the tough thing about that one, there's no reviews in Division II football. So that play is going to stand as an incompleted pass.
Second offsides of this drive called against the visiting Limestone Saints.
And on that play, Josh Jones doing the right thing there, taking the long shot. That play is a free one by the Catawba defense. As you said, 2nd offside penalty of the night.
That was Lawrence Williams jumping into the neutral zone. Second and 5. And Fahim Diab hauls it in. Touchdown UNCP. His 3rd touchdown catch of the season.
I think I'm still on last week. That was Limestone that we're playing against, not Catawba. So my apologies there. Limestone allowing the 1st touchdown of the night by UNCP.
6-0 UNCP on the opening drive. As Braswell comes on for the extra point. And it's blocked. 2nd missed extra point this season for Hunter Braswell. The 1st that was blocked. Good drive, though, for UNCP, starting off strong.
And that extra point miss is going to cost them possibly later on in the game, as Limestone, if they score here, get the extra point, they'll be up by 1. It could change the complexion of the game for tonight.
So we'll see this Limestone offense for the first time. And you talked a little bit before about their quarterback, DJ Phillips. Now, one of the big things when you look at a quarterback in college and evaluate him potentially for the next level, it's size. He certainly has that at 6'7". Great vision, great pocket presence. The numbers this season, at least, just haven't been there for him.
Yeah, he's been a force for the Saints, especially last season. This season, however, has not had a game over 50% completion-wise. That is going to be tough for Limestone tonight against the UNCP defense last week that we saw was revamped, improved, and 2 weeks ago on the road. UNCP at home this season, we know what they can do.
Last week, Phillips just 7 for 27. He's completed just 40% of his passes this season. Short kick is returnable for Limestone. Shenard Bain up across the 30. Pretty good starting field position for the Saints offense. Winless this season, 0-3. But their offense starts and really ends with their running back, Jarkoye Patton. He's a very talented back, 2017 Conference Offensive Freshman of the Year, and certainly great to have someone of his caliber in the backfield.
Yeah, and alongside him as well, Malik Brooks, as I said, has 107 yards and 22 carries. He'll split some carries tonight with Jarkoye Patton as well.
And a penalty on the Braves on the kick return moves it up a few yards. 6-0 UNCP here in the opening quarter. Braves looking to get their defense going, their first appearance on the field. Scott the motion man. And a low throw from Phillips is hauled in for a first down. Quay Brown on the receiving end of that one. He's the leading receiver for Limestone. 5 catches against both West Alabama and West Georgia.
Speaking of receivers for this Saints squad, they also have a receiver in Cedric Smith. Had his first collegiate touchdown last week against Tusculum.
Phillips keeps it on the read option. And Amari Bryce Green rips him down. Bryce Green, he has the second most tackles in the season on UNCP coming into tonight, but they'll need him to step up tonight and throughout the season. As David Salser, who leads UNCP in tackles, he's out for the season with an injury.
That's a huge loss for UNCP's defense. Nonetheless, they are still a dominant force, especially last week.
2nd and 5 after the gain of 5 for Phillips. Looks to run once more, tucks, and brought down a gain of 2. 3rd and 3. Devin Cowan, Taverine on the tackle. A couple of defensive linemen for UNCP. Brings up a 3rd down and 3. The give to Patton with Green in front. Touchdown, Limestone. Jarkoye Patton. "38 yards to the house."
And that's the issue UNCP had 2 weeks ago against Virginia State. Those big gaps. The running back, Jarkoye Patton, able to find the huge hole, putting Limestone on the board, matching UNCP 6-6. The extra point coming.
.807 to go here in the first quarter, and we saw right there Patton hit the hole and went all the way 38 yards to tie things up.
Yeah, Jarkoye Patton, that's the thing that he does best, finding those holes. UNCP has to close those gaps. Last week they did a phenomenal job of that against Catawba. 2 weeks ago, however, they had those issues, and that looked like one of those issues once again for UNCP. They still have to focus on closing those gaps, stopping that run game. That's a strong suit for Limestone.
Limestone takes a timeout before an extra point. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, taking a timeout before an extra point, but maybe they'll have something cooking up. Looks like the offense might be staying out there as well for them.
Very odd decision, especially with UNCP just missing their extra point as it was blocked by the Saints. Couldn't imagine them going for 2 here in this situation.
Well, they will be. Brian Turk, the first-year head coach for Limestone, getting aggressive early on in this one. An extra point would give them the lead, but they're going to go for 2. And another timeout taken. This time looks like it's taken by Shane Richardson of the Braves. Playing chess early on the point after.
And possibly the mindset for Brian Turk is if UNCP stops them here, it's still a tied ball game. So going for 2 here, give them a little bit of an extra advantage. But I'm not sure why Thomas Cook is not out there kicking the extra point. This Limestone special teams here, I don't know. I'm pretty confused at this point. Looks like Limestone just trying to be aggressive here.
Well, let's see who they send out. Offense is still out in the field. Again, Brian Turk, first year as the head coach. Last year was named the interim head coach 8 games into the season. The Saints were 0-8 to that point, and they dropped their final 2, finishing last year winless. And as we touched on before, they've lost 15 straight games. But the head coach, his first season, was the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach last year before being named the interim head coach. And he has spent some time at a big program in this region. University of South Carolina under Steve Spurrier, worked with the offense, with the quarterbacks, and a couple of names you might remember, Connor Shaw, Dylan Thompson, 2 of the guys who worked under him. So listen, he knows what he's doing, and if he's coming from the Steve Spurrier coaching tree, you might see some out there decisions once in a while.
Yeah, it's going to take some time for Limestone to adjust to that new culture that Brian Turk is trying to present at Limestone. But so far 0-3 on the year. They're looking to be aggressive, trying to go up on UNCP by 2.
Full house backfields out of the pistol. They fake the handoff, pass incomplete. So we're still tied at 6. 2 touchdowns, but no point after successful. 8:07 to go here in the first quarter. UNCP will get the football back. And we'll take a quick break here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Brought to you by the Robeson County Commissioners Breathe Initiative. Who holds the UNCP football record for most career interceptions? Galen Hand with 13. Of air pollution. Fans, as a reminder, please help
Back here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium, and an interesting decision by Limestone to try to go for 2. Again, if they would have just kicked the extra point, they would have taken the lead because Hunter Braswell's extra point attempt was blocked. They go for 2. They call a timeout before going for 2. Then UNCP takes a timeout. Some mind games being played early on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with that decision. Going for 2, it's 6-6. Just kick the extra point. You're up by 1. Give your offense some credit there. They just scored a touchdown, and you could be up in this game. Instead, a failed 2-point conversion, and the game is still tied here.
Well, the Braves made easy work of this Limestone defense on their opening drive, and we talked about their struggles this season. You look back to last season, too. Wasn't much better defensively. In the SAC, they ranked last in points allowed, rushing yards allowed, and total yards allowed. They let up an average of 43 points per game in 2018. This year, letting up 32 points per outing. Jones from the 12. Returns it for 14 yards, and the Braves will set up shop at the 26. Josh Jones 4 for 4 on that first drive, capped it off with a touchdown to Fahim Diab, who's becoming quite the threat offensively for the Braves. That his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. Just a sophomore, but at 6'5", that's such a huge red zone weapon.
And as you mentioned, he's 6'5", a huge tight end, hard to cover. UNCP definitely going to take advantage of that offensive weapon.
Swing pass for Jones. Quad Williams from the flat. And the captain gets up to the 27. They'll mark him at the 27.5 about. 2nd and 9. Jones now 5 for 5. I'll give him a little extra yard at 2nd and 7. Nixon and Vines in motion. Sheridan stumbles and picks up first down yardage up to the 37-yard line. Gain of 8 for Josh Sheridan.
There's more of that Josh Sheridan rush attack that I'm sure Shane Richardson loves to see after a career week last week. Looking to bring that momentum back to Grace P. Johnson Stadium this week. Have another big night.
Now, last week we saw UNCP go incredibly up-tempo. This week they've slowed things down a bit, going huddle right there. As Jones rolls out. Second reception for Shaman Hicks, and he's taken down. A loss of 5.
And even with that loss there, you see Josh Jones to play action play. He's starting to roll out. Then he's going to set his feet and find the target. And that's just the intangibles Josh Jones brings. He's just a sophomore. UNCP looking to have him for 2 more seasons after this one. He is going to be an absolute weapon come a couple years from now.
6 for 6, 47 yards and a TD. Again, Jones through the air. Pressured. Nice throw on the move. It's caught, then coughed up. And they'll blow it incomplete. But there is a flag down in the backfield. Looks like Johnny Varga will be charged with the hold. Excuse me, Josh King in the vicinity. We'll see who they call it on. Penalty declined by Limestone. Sets up a 3rd down and 14. And this is an offensive line that's been shifted around a little bit. Last week, Gage Baldwin also went down with an injury. He's expected to return this season. But plenty of movement. Josh King, who that flag was just called on, he moves from right tackle now to right guard. So outside to inside on the O-line. 3rd and 14. Jones spun down. Christian Shoup with the sack. The redshirt senior makes it 4th and very long.
Speaking of the offensive line there, they had no answer for Limestone's blitz there. Josh Jones had nowhere to go, couldn't even have time to throw that one away. It's going to be a huge loss. UNCP will have to punt this one away.
So we'll get our first look at Isaac Parks, who the reigning All-American punter for UNCP has put up some huge numbers this year. Averages 45 yards a punt. 9 of his 16 have been downed inside the 20, but maybe even more notable than that, just last weekend after the Catawba game, proposed to his girlfriend. They're now engaged, and his proposal video was put on Twitter, over 600,000 views. So congratulations to Isaac on that big news. Great young man, and again, congratulations.
I know she's a lucky woman to have such a great man great football player as well as Isaac Parks.
Phillips, second pass attempt of the night. And he wisely tosses that out of bounds. Good coverage by UNCP, 2nd and 10.
I think instead of throwing that one away, DJ Phillips, he probably could have ran for a few yards there. He's 6'7". He has the size, certainly. But DJ Phillips unable to see anything out there for his receivers, and he'll toss that one away.
Well, he can certainly move. Over 30 rushing yards in the last 2 games, in each of the last 2 games for Limestone for the 6'7" QB. Now under center. Flipped a little high, and Devin Jones there in coverage. 3rd and 10.
And that's a pass DJ Phillips has to make on the run. Just a few yards ahead. He's going to overthrow this one to his receiver, as you see. That's a costly mistake, so it is now 3rd and 10.
Crowd making some noise here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. 3rd and 10 for Limestone. DJ Phillips, he's 1 for 3, and right now in a typical passing situation. Braves get the heat. Patton underneath. 1st down and way more. Into UNCP territory. Gain of 29 yards through the air.
That was like a screenplay here. DJ Phillips reads this one. And that's a huge gain for Limestone. UNCP has to be more aware of the screenplay.
Patton once more. Trying to go right up the gut and sent back by Cam Lowry.
And that's a better job of the UNCP rushing defense, closing that gap, allowing Patton no room to run. That's really been a problem for UNCP, the big play. As we saw, Jacoya Patton had a huge run for a touchdown. And those are the things that kill the UNCP defense's big plays.
Second and 8, a 2-back look for the first time tonight. At an inside give, gets towards the 1st down marker. Malik Brooks on the carry. I think he's just short. 3rd and inches.
And a huge 3rd down for the UNCP defense. They need this stop. And it's not out of the question that Limestone would go for it on 4th down if stopped.
They've certainly been aggressive tonight. And on the mesh, bobbled and fumbled. And it's recovered by Limestone. So what almost seems like a disaster for the Saints, bit of a lucky break, that moves the chains.
You know Brian Turk called that one right up there. That was the right call.
And on the replay, just the exchange not there. Phillips kept it extended a little bit too long. Nonetheless, it pays off up to the 32. Phillips, aerial attack, and tiptoeing to the sideline, Quay Brown. Again, moves the chains.
Those are the plays DJ Phillips we saw last season, where he can make that throw where only the receiver can get the ball. It's a great job by DJ Phillips to extend the play. It's a 1st down now for the Saints.
Phillips looking to repeat his success from last year. Threw for over 2,000 yards last season and was 2nd as a team. Limestone 2nd in the conference in passing yards per game. Delayed handoff, Patton looking for touchdown number 2, and he has it. 20 yards.
Also attempt the extra point. The Saints will be 98 Thomas.
How about this formation? We see some teams run that once in a while, as now Limestone moves into the normal extra point attempt formation. And Thomas Cook knocks it down 13-6. How about Jerkoya Patton? Touchdown runs of 38 and now 20 yards, putting his team on his back.
And there's the UNCP defense allowing the big play. UNCP has got to stop that. Jerkoya Patton, he is a tough running back. And he's very shifty as well, but UNCP, we saw last week against Catawba, they did a great job of closing the gap, stopping the run. And unfortunately tonight, UNCP, it looks like they're not even doing that at all.
Limestone 81 rushing yards already in the first quarter. 2:01 to go. Braves offense will get their third opportunity. They scored pretty easily on the first drive. Struggled a little bit on the second. But Devin Jones certainly dangerous. Back to return this kick for UNCP.
Back to Jerkoya Patton. 3 carries, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns on the night. If you had some college fantasy football, I think that would be pretty good right now.
Oh, yeah. If it's PPR, even better. You have that reception that went for about 20. Jones sets up from the 5. Has a seam. Fumble the football. Potential scoop and score, but the officials blew it dead. And they'll say that Devin Jones was down at the 35, so it's a return of 30 yards.
And that's so tough for the refs to call without review. Looks like the ref was pretty confident that the play was down there at about the 35. So a huge break for UNCP.
The Braves will begin the drive.
First down for UNCP at the 35, and Jones, he averages 28 yards per kick return. He takes that one for 30, so right about where he's used to on this season. Shifty guy in the return game. Price in motion. The end arounds, nowhere to go. Talon Campbell with the TFL.
Eric Price, such a shifty running back. He's very short, and he reminds me of Tariq Cohen, the way that he can play. So shifty, can use him in many different schemes on the offense. That time for a loss.
Yeah, Price just 5'6", 165, and actually, before playing football at UNCP, he ran track at Appalachian State, was a sprinter and very successful at that. Bringing his speed to the gridiron, and the throw underneath, completed to Hicks as he dinks and ducks his way across the 40. Picks up 9, third and manageable.
That's a huge play for UNCP. Once again, second and very long, pass to Hicks. Gets you about a third and medium here. It's UNCP near midfield.
Braves go 5 wide. Extra DB in for Limestone. 3rd and 3. Possibly the final play of this first quarter. And Jones gets a jump, another free shot. The 3rd one of this quarter for McDonald's. And he was out of bounds when he hauled it in.
A lot of commotion on that play.
Take a look at this replay here. That's close. Offside still gives UNCP a first down to the 47. The Braves drive continues, but man, that's a couple of close plays along the sideline for UNCP.
That pass was just underthrown by Josh Jones, but the receiver able to adjust back to the ball. It would have been a phenomenal catch, and it would have gave UNCP great field position coming to the close of the first quarter. Instead, it'll still be a first down.
Final play of the first quarter. Jones, deep ball. Overshot Sean Brown, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter, 13-6. Limestone in front. Thoughts on the first quarter?
Well, UNCP, I think they need to do better defensively. Limestone is up 13-6, and it's really been because of Jerkoya Patton. So I think UNCP needs to close the gaps, contain that run here in the second quarter.
Let's take a quick break here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Principal Hunt has played an integral role in the success of UNC Pembroke athletics. Award-winning.
Back here at Grace B. Johnson Stadium, second quarter underway. Braves a 2nd and 10. They go to Sheridan. Muscles his way to the 47. Pickup of 6. Limestone doing a pretty good job shutting down Sheridan so far. Hasn't had any very long runs. He's been consistent, though, on the ground.
UNCP, I need to get some momentum here in the second quarter. Started out with that touchdown, but that missed extra point. We're bringing the momentum out of the game, putting it on Limestone.
3rd and 4. Sheridan, nowhere to go. That's a 4th down. D'Amico Pryor, the junior middle linebacker, with the stop. Isaac Parks out for another punt.
And even when you do get stopped, UNCP, they have to be really grateful for Isaac Parks.
Peeler waves for a fair catch and lets it go over his head in the end zone for a touchback. 20-yard line is where Limestone will start, and for their struggles this season and the last couple of years, their offense has been efficient and successful tonight against UNCP.
Yeah, especially with the transfers. Malik Brooks, DJ Phillips, Jerkoy Patton this game, they have really been great. Jerkoy Patton, just 4 touches in that first quarter. However, 87 total yards and 2 touchdowns.
Got a different look at quarterback now. Alec Morton checks in, the 6'1 redshirt sophomore. He'll put it in the air in his first throw, and it's deflected by the Pembroke native, Luke Brooks, making his first start of the season.
And actually had in my game notes, don't be surprised if Alec Morton is inserted for DJ Phillips if his struggles continue tonight. Morton was inserted last week against Tusculum and went 6 for 10 for 85 yards, in which included his first collegiate touchdown as well.
2nd and 10. On the ground to Brooks with a hole up the middle. No one in front of him. It's a foot race to the finish. And John Jones trips him up at the 4-yard line. 76-yard run.
Shane Richardson has to be fuming right now, as he thought UNCP corrected these mistakes last week, and these same mistakes have persisted on from week 2 against Virginia State.
Shane Richardson, a defensive-minded coach as well. He coaches up the linebackers too. Morton keeps on the option to the edge, and he's shoved out. But a flag comes out in the end zone. 2 flags out in the back corner.
There's a flag on the play.
Waiting for the call. Cedric Smith calls for a hold, and he was pretty far deep into the end zone as well. That backs Limestone up 10 yards. It'll be 1st and goal from the 12.
Not much reason for Cedric Smith to hold, especially in the back of the end zone, as Alec Morton was just around on the short side of the field there. Kind of questionable by Cedric Smith.
This is just the 2nd time this season that Limestone has led. Patton looking for his 3rd touchdown of the half. And he comes just short of the end zone, up to maybe the 1.5-yard line. But he is dangerous.
And it's safe to say UNCP is just having a tough time stopping Jerkoya Patton. He doesn't have many touches in this game, but he has a lot of yards, and he's looking for his 3rd touchdown of the game. And we aren't even 20 minutes into this one.
And Morton brought down to the backfield. Defensive line with some heat for UNCP. Taverine looked to be the first one there, and that's a 3rd and goal.
Alec Morton with just a bad read here. UNCP is going to read this one all day, and they're going to feast on Alec Morton. That's a loss. And it's going to be 3rd and 2. 3rd and 7.
3rd and goal at the 7. Again, Limestone had 1st and goal from the 4, and then an offensive holding penalty backed him up. Alec Morton on his first drive of the game in for DJ Phillips as the redshirt sophomore barks at the offense, and Limestone takes their 2nd timeout of the half, just 4 minutes into the 2nd quarter. This could be a huge stand for UNCP.
And they need it right now. They could go down 20-6 if Limestone scores here and converts the extra point. UNCP, they need to get better on defense right now. Their offense has not been great. Their defense is allowing a lot of yards on the ground right now.
It's a 3rd and goal from the 7 for Limestone. Crowd gets loud. Malik Brooks in at running back. High snap. They give it to Brooks. And he is swarmed at the 5, a gain of 2. A host of Braves there defensively. The defense stands tall when it matters most.
The defense coming up clutch. Not going to let another running back get a touchdown in this one for Limestone. UNCP doing a great job of stopping Malik Brooks, gaining any additional yardage. And it looks like Limestone, they are going to kick a field goal.
Now the kicking unit comes in, but pay attention, Alec Morton is holding. He is not the normal holder. And sometimes you'll see teams do this. Michigan State certainly known for putting their quarterback at holder. But it is a kick, and a flag comes in late as Thomas Cook is down on the ground.
And that can be costly for UNCP. So this one could be a 1st and goal.
If it's a personal foul, roughing the kicker, not running into the kicker, it will be a 1st down and goal. Cook doubles as both the kicker and the punter, last season's 2nd team all-conference.
This will be a huge loss for Limestone if he cannot return.
And referee Jake Rosiak chatting with Brian Turk.
Our condolences to Thomas Cook, so we hope it's nothing serious.
So it is a roughing the kicker penalty, and that is a personal foul, half the distance, and an automatic 1st down. Silly penalties that can completely change this game.
UNCP tonight. We praised them last week for playing so well defensively against Catawba. Tonight, they look all over the place. Silly penalties, allowing big plays on the ground. UNCP just not sticking to the fundamentals of, especially last week, where they looked very impressive.
1st and goal, they'll keep Alec Morton in there. Brooks stays at halfback. They give it to Brooks. And he's in. Limestone, their 3rd touchdown of this 1st half, and this already the most points they've scored in a single game this season.
It's all in part to UNCP's defense this game, as they have failed to close these gaps. The running backs, Malik Brook, Dracoya Patton, are running all over UNCP's defense at the moment. Malik Brooks, 4 carries, 87 yards. Patton, 4 carries, 70 yards on the ground.
Nathan Baker, who is the normal holder, is now on to kick. Splits the uprights 20-6. Limestone in front, and this very well could have been a 16-6 game, but that crucial personal foul, roughing the kicker penalty, prolonging that drive and giving Limestone 2nd life.
Yeah, and Limestone, they take advantage with Malik Brooks, and it looks like UNCP is going to possibly allow 2 more 100-plus yard rushers in a game this season. They did it against Virginia State. Limestone with Malik Brooks and Dracoya Patton already 87 yards and 70 yards for both running backs.
Braves offense really looked great on their opening drive. They marched downfield, scored a touchdown, extra point attempt was blocked by Limestone. Since then, they have not been able to do much. We've seen a couple of punts from Isaac Parks. They've been able to drive the ball a little bit, get into Limestone territory, but just have not been able to finish off drives.
You have to wonder if that blocked extra point is the turning point of this ball game. If that gave Limestone some life, saying we can win this game, we have a chance, we go up. Here's 7-6. That's a huge lead, but it was tied 6-6. Limestone, they've just been taking advantage on the ground this game. UNCP has not done well.
Baker to boot. Has to re-tee the football. The Saints fired up on the sideline. This is a position they haven't found themselves in since 2017. They've lost 15 straight games, and all but one have been by double digits, so they haven't been in many football games. But they lead by 14. As Devin Jones hurdles a would-be tackler and is hurried out of bounds. And a late flag comes in along the Limestone sideline. This could be interesting.
The way the Limestone sideline was celebrating, this one is going to look like it's going to be against UNCP.
It's a sideline warning at Limestone. Yeah, they were pretty fired up after that kick return. Nothing for Jones as he just gets out to the 17. So a long field to work with for UNCP as they look to get their offense back rolling. Vines and Sheridan to the backfield for the Braves. And the Lumberton native churns forward for a pair.
Limestone has a lot of momentum in this game right now. They have absolutely shut down Josh Sheridan. McKinley Nelson's only had one carry on the game. And Sheridan, he's had 7 attempts at the ball tonight and under 25 yards.
2nd and 8 from the 19-yard line.
2nd and 8 for UNCP. Jones still pretty efficient. He's 7 for 9, 55 yards. And a touchdown. Quick slant. That could have been a touchdown-saving tackle as Tyshawn Carter picks up the first down. Jones now 8 for 10.
Carter had all green in front of him here. It looked like it was a slant route. And that's going to be a huge first down as UNCP looking to get some momentum on this drive.
18 yards through the air for UNCP. Carter, his 10th catch of this 2019 season. Throw again connects to Carter. Makes a couple men miss, brought down by Pryor. Gain of 9, and keep in mind, Josh Jones has only 2 incompletions. Were almost catches. They were bang-bang plays along the sideline. Now an injured Brave down in the backfield. That's Daniel Butler. He's able to get up, though, on his own power and head to the sideline.
You always like to see an injured player get up at his own ability, walking over to the sideline. Gives you some hope that it's nothing too serious.
2nd and a yard. Quad Williams checks in for UNCP. Sheridan heads out to the sideline. 7 seconds to snap it for UNCP. They have to go quickly here. They do have timeouts, and Shane Richardson will take one. So 1 timeout remaining for both teams, with still 8:02 to go in the first quarter. And how about the situation where both teams used a timeout early on in the game? Limestone came out. They were, we thought, going to kick the extra point. Brian Turk takes the timeout. And then they send the offense out there to go for 2. UNCP then calls timeout. And the 2-point conversion attempt was unsuccessful. But now that situation potentially coming back to haunt both these teams. There's still plenty of time to go in the half.
It seems like both teams have a lot of uncertainty on the sidelines as they're using and taking advantage of those timeouts here in the first half. Still have almost 10 minutes left in this first half, and both teams just one timeout, like you said.
UNCP, they're 2-1 of the season. They're trying to pick up their second consecutive win. It would be their first back-to-back win situation since November of 2016. Back-to-back 2-8 seasons for the Braves. So the win tonight would also catapult them past their win totals 2018 and 2017. After the timeout, it's a 2nd and a yard. Quad Williams. Close to the marker. I think he's a little bit short.
Tackle made by number 95, Devontae Allen, and number 55, Christian Shoup.
Allen and Shoup on the stop for the Saints. 3rd and less than a yard for UNC Pembroke. Sheridan. All he needs about a foot. Forward progress gives him the yardage, and UNCP moves the chains.
You have to respect the rush defense tonight by Limestone. They've done a phenomenal job as Josh Sheridan just getting that first down and keeping the drive going near midfield.
First and 10 for UNCP, just shy of midfield. Jones, he's on fire as he hooks up with Carter once again. That connection has been money on this drive. 3 toss and catches from Jones to Carter on this drive.
And he fumbles the ball here. Luckily, the ball is out of bounds at this point. And UNCP setting up shop in Limestone territory. This is huge for UNCP. They need a touchdown on this drive to just stick with Limestone at this point.
Sheridan, solid yardage and first down to the 21, gain of 9. Certainly the best drive for UNCP since their first drive.
UNCP looking to get some points out of this drive. They need them. Down 20-6, halftime nearing. UNCP needs to take advantage of this great drive.
Josh Jones, just 2 incompletions tonight. 2nd and a yard. Sheridan up the gut.
Hand off to Josh Sheridan. Tackle made.
And he has enough. Another first down carry for Josh Sheridan.
That will be enough for another Braves. First down. Ball spotted at
Kinley
the
Nelson
2-yard line.
in at halfback. Sheridan gets a breather on the sideline.
For this Limestone team tonight, that allows over 200 yards on the ground, they have done a very good job containing the UNCP backs.
Nelson. Up the middle to the 16. Jones, he's really trying to get Limestone to jump, and they've jumped quite a few times already in this first half, really emphasizing that snap count.
And Jones doing the right thing when that occurs. Trying to take the long shot downfield, knows it's a free play, and he takes advantage of that. He has great quarterback instincts for a sophomore.
Yeah, that's key, just a sophomore. So UNCP, they'll have 2 more years of number 12 And Nelson is able to skirt out of one tackle. Gets to the 12.
Hand off to McKinley Nelson, tackle
3rd and
made
short
by
for UNCP.
29,
And the way this game's been going, too, you almost figure this is 4-down territory for the Braves.
Yeah, definitely. And UNCP,
from the 11-yard
they need the score here. There's 2 halves in football. UNCP is going to make adjustments at halftime. They desperately need to, because Limestone has definitely taken advantage of the holes and the gaps that UNCP has let open in this first half. UNCP, they need to get as many points as possible on the board here.
Braves pack things in tight. Diab and Vines to the left of the line. Nelson off the edge. 1st and goal for UNCP. McKinley Nelson carries for 6.
That will be another Braves first down.
This is a great situation for UNCP. Clock dwindling down towards halftime. 1st and goal situation for the Braves.
Carter in motion. It's to Nelson. Moves inside the 5, not much going.
Hand off to number 3.
And when you get down this deep into your opponent's territory, good news for UNCP. They have weapons. They have Fahim Diab, who now checks out of the game. But underrated aspect to this offense, and we've touched on it tonight, the rushing ability of Josh Jones, especially when you get this deep into opposing territory, can certainly come into play. Couple late substitutions, and we'll get a whistle. Brian Turk will take a timeout. That's his final of this first half. How about this drive from UNCP? This is their, without a doubt, most sustained drive. They scored a touchdown to the opening drive. We've seen a few 3rd downs, and they've been successful.
UNCP, they need the score here. If they're down 20-6, who saw this coming tonight by UNCP? UNCP 2-0 at home this season, and arguably their best performances of the season. But tonight against Limestone, they have allowed a lot of yards on the ground, especially by Malik Brooks and Trokoya Patton. This has just been unmethodical of UNCP tonight. They need to make some halftime adjustments for sure and get back out there and seal the win.
And you can't necessarily say it's been anything shocking on the part of Limestone. You knew coming into this, they're going to try to get those running backs going. And in fact, we've seen a quarterback change already in the first half. Alec Morton in for DJ Phillips. So when it comes out to the second half, like you said, we'll see if UNCP's run defense is able to make some improvements. We touched on it in the pregame, but that was the biggest area of growth for UNCP between Virginia State and Catawba. Gave up nearly 400 rushing yards against VSU, and then held Catawba to 109. 2nd and goal at the 4. Josh Sheridan to the corner. Fumbled the football, but they'll say it's a touchdown. Crosses the plane, and UNCP back within 1 score.
That is a great drive by UNCP, giving them some momentum towards half. Still 2 minutes and 24 seconds remaining before halftime. But for sure, the UNC offense is having a lot of momentum right now. They got to feel good about that drive.
Hunter Braswell, his first extra point attempt was blocked. Isaac Parks to hold. Kick is true. UNCP trails it by a touchdown, but the way this Limestone offense has been operating today, they still have some work to do now defensively for the Braves. As we'll take a quick break here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Fans, go ahead and scream out, happy birthday, Anaya. All right, she is going to have 3 attempts to make a 20-yard field goal. She needs you to be as loud as possible to help cheer her on to to make just one of 3 field goals. Anaya, first attempt when you're ready. First attempt was not good. We'll try it again. Good. Fans, please still give her one big round of applause.
So look at here, check the flavor of the rhythm I wrote. And when I get a chance here, let me clear my
A 13-play, 83-yard drive capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run by Josh Sheridan. Puts UNCP within a touchdown, 20-13 Limestone. In front of your UNCP Braves, John Gross alongside Brandon Hodge. Hunter Braswell on to kick this away. Caden Peeler and Manny Ogletree back deep. Short kick and a fair catch at the 30. Jawan Dukes hauled that one in. Pretty good field position for Limestone. We haven't seen much for them through the air. And unfortunately for the Saints, they have no timeouts left either.
And you mentioned nothing through the air. Well, they really haven't had to go to that, as they have Malik Brooks and Jerkoy Patton carrying the load for offense for the Limestone Saints tonight. And they put up 20 points of offense in the first half.
DJ Phillips back in at quarterback and a delayed handoff. Nothing there. So Brian Turk rotating QBs. We saw Phillips for most of this game. Last drive, Alec Morton comes in. He marches his team downfield. They pick up 6. Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Fumbled on the snap. Patton has to flip it out of bounds. Almost picked off Amari Bryce Green. And that stops the clock too. So UNCP, if they get a stop here, they can use that final timeout to get the ball back with plenty of time to march downfield and score.
UNCP, that last drive with the scoring effort, they used 7 minutes and 34 seconds of that clock. So UNCP obviously wanting that clock to expire, get to halftime, make those halftime adjustments.
3rd and 11. Quick pass to Patton. Weaves his way upfield. We'll see where they mark him. Right at the first down yard to gain. And that moves the chains. That's the 2nd time on 3rd and long tonight they've ran that underneath screen to Patton. And it's worked both times.
Jerkoy Patton, he's so good in space.
First down. Wide open. Cedric Smith. Phillips overshot him.
DJ Phillips, he's got to make that pass. A wide open receiver and just overthrows him. Part of the reason why Alec Morton has come into the game for him in the past couple of series.
Phillips 4 for 8. Excuse me, 4 for 9. Through the air now. An inside give goes for 3. 3rd and 7 for the Limestone offense. Tunnel screen, blown up, Luke Brooks. Straight out of Pembroke. The hometown kid makes the play and gives UNCP's offense a chance to close out this first half.
The question is UNCP going to take advantage of these 41 seconds and try and get some points on the board, or are they just going to go to halftime, make the adjustments, and come back out, try to stop that rushing attack of Limestone?
I figure a lot of it hinges on this punt return by Devin Jones. Low spiraling punt, Jones, room to return. Up to the 27. Braves, 1 timeout, 28 seconds. What are you doing here if you're Shane Richardson?
Oh, Devin Jones didn't get you too many yards on that return. I'd say go to halftime at this point. Make those adjustments. You don't want Limestone to capitalize on any opportunities here. But Shane Richardson, possibly he might go for it here. Try to get some points on the board. Still have a timeout. You can utilize that as well.
Saints go 3 deep. Now adjust to 2 high look. Sheridan dragged down at the 32. Braves won't use that final timeout. 20-13, Limestone in front here in the second quarter. Time ticking away, and UNCP content. They will head into the locker room, trailing by 7. The story in this one, Brandon, the rushing attack for Limestone. The Braves have not had any answers for them.
And Shane Richardson, he's going to make these adjustments. I expect UNCP to come back out into the second half and fully stop this run by Limestone. It's really the only thing going for them at this point in time. And if they can stop that rushing attack of Limestone's, UNCP can have a very golden opportunity to win this game.
It's halftime here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. Your UNC Pembroke Braves trail the Limestone Saints 20-13. Halftime show on deck, followed by the second half of action. So don't go anywhere. This is UNCP Football Live on the UNCP Sports Network.
to Soul Train with 10 non-stop minutes across the tracks of your mind into the exciting world of soul. With music by James Brown, the Jackson 5 featuring the flute section, and Ike and Tina Turner featuring special guest vocal soloist Kia Dunn. And now, here are your hosts, drum majors Alexis Burrell and Ray Gilbert, and the UNC Pembroke Spirit of the Carolinas Marching Band.
You ready? Back here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium, second half action just minutes away. John Gross, Brandon Hodge here on the UNCP Sports Network. And Brandon, the story of that first half, undoubtedly the rushing attack for Limestone, 170 yards on the ground for the visitors.
And this is like a similar performance to Virginia State a couple weeks ago by UNCP. They're not closing the gaps. They are having a tough time stopping the run. I think those adjustments in the second half are going to close those gaps, stop the outside runs and the option plays of Limestone.
The good news, though, for UNCP, Josh Jones having another very efficient night offensively. He's 10 for 12 through the air with a touchdown as well.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore. We always reiterate on that one, but he's just a sophomore. He acts like a senior quarterback, and he's playing Division II football. He could be a Division I quarterback out there, the way that he reads the option plays, he has accurate passing ability. He is an all-around great quarterback for this UNCP program.
Both teams making their way back out onto the fields. Brandon, what are you expecting to see in the second half?
Well, I expect UNCP to stop the running attack of Limestone as well. And if that happens for Limestone, are they going to go to the air? Are they going to keep running the ball? Some questions will be answered from Limestone and UNCP in the second half.
We get the third quarter started in just a few minutes. Limestone 20, UNC Pembroke 13, live here from Grace P. Johnson Stadium on the UNCP Sports Network.
We are the spirit of the Carolinas, and as always, in parting, we wish you love, peace, and soul.
Getting set here in the third quarter, 20-13. UNC Pembroke trails the Limestone Saints. Braves looking to pick up consecutive wins for the first time since November 2016. Limestone in search of their first win since October 21st of 2017. They've dropped 15 straight games, so a couple of unfortunate streaks potentially could be broken tonight. One has to give. And thus far, it's been the visiting Saints, the aggressors. Braswell set to boot this one deep for UNC Pembroke. And we are underway in the second half. To the 31 goes Shenard Bain. Haven't seen much of Bain offensively tonight. The third-year contributor for this team. He's played quite a bit of football at Limestone, but with a couple of great running backs and Patton and Brooks ahead of him, tough to get some action offensively, making an impact on special teams, though. It's DJ Phillips to start the second half under center for Limestone. First down, throwing. Gain of 13. It's Brown on the reception.
It's a good start for DJ Phillips and the Limestone offense as they switch things up a little bit and go through the air to start out the second half.
.30 to go here in the third quarter. Screen pass to Smith. Cedric Smith still on his feet. Down at the 1. About 60 yards for Smith.
This time the big play coming through the air as it is a quick pass from DJ Phillips to Cedric Smith. Smith bolting down the sideline, setting up Limestone for a first and goal.
54 yards to be exact. Smith sets up the Saints in good position, and they follow it up with Jerkoya Patton into the end zone. Once again, that's his third rushing touchdown of the game, this time from a yard out.
And that is not the start UNCP wanted on defense. Another huge play and another score for Limestone.
Saints doubling up the Braves here early in the third quarter. 13:45 to go. And the kick is through. 27-13, a minute and 15 seconds into the third quarter. The Saints back in front, up by 14. UNCP's offense will get another chance at it.
UNCP still a whole second half to go. It's just started, but Limestone still has that momentum coming from the first half. UNCP needs a stop. They need to stop that Limestone offense. They are going to need a score here on offense. Try and match up with Limestone, get toward that 14-point deficit.
The Saints coming on the road, looking real good tonight offensively, and it's been mainly that rushing attack, but that drive sparked a 54-yard completion to Cedric Smith, the 6-foot junior. And Devin Jones retreats for UNCP.
And you would think Jerkoya Patton would have the most rushing yards on this team tonight. No, it is Malik Brooks, the other running back, the transfer out of the Citadel, with 87 yards total tonight on the ground.
Nathan Baker to send it away. Jones bounces it and is wrapped up and brought down at the 25 by Armonte Prillo. 13:39 to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for UNCP. And as we talked about coming out of the halftime break, Josh Jones has been one of the biggest bright spots tonight for UNCP.
Yeah, and 10 for 12, 104 yards through the air, a TD. Got to give him credit. He's trying to stick that offense, trying to get it going.
We go to Sheridan. Not much there for the UNCP halfback, met by Nijay Hill.
A little note on that Limestone defense. Last week against Tusculum, held them to 94 yards of offense in that second half to go along with 3 sacks and 2 picks. So Limestone coming off of a strong second half performance on defense last week.
13:05 to go in the third. 2nd and 6 for Josh Jones and company. They bring 3. Quay Threet, his first reception of the night. To the 43, a pickup of 14.
That's a huge first down. UNCP, they need to get going on offense. Had a score right before halftime and desperately needed that, or else this game could have been 27-6 right now in the third.
Threet missed the first 2 games of the season for UNCP, but last week returned in a big way. 3 catches, 25 yards, and a touchdown as he just got his paws on that previous play. First catch of the night for him. Sheridan's toe cuts the distance in half.
And I fully expected Josh Sheridan to have a huge night against this Limestone rushing defense, but they have really stopped Josh Sheridan just under 55 yards of rushing now. I was going to say just under 50 yards of rushing.
Just under 12 minutes to go. Weak side blitz comes, and it's completed to Carter. Tayshawn Carter entered tonight with 9 receptions. He has 5 so far, and it's early third quarter.
And those are the great plays that Josh Jones can make. The simple passes to get Limestone off their defense right now. And this looks like the way that UNCP is going to go down the field.
First and 10 UNCP. Nelson. Stutter step to the 38. Gain of 5. That's been important for UNCP tonight. Picking up solid yardage on first down has made things easier for them on third downs where they found success.
Yeah, McKinley Nelson, just his 6th attempt on the night. The rushing attack does not really work for UNCP tonight, but every so often you pull it out, get a few yards, and it can benefit the offense.
10:50 to go in the third. Jones has room to run. He'll keep it. And a manageable third down out of the way for UNCP. Braves 4 for 6 tonight on third downs. Third down and 3 for UNC Pembroke. Braves have gone under center tonight, more so than they did in their first 3 games. Play action, Jones escapes one and launches it out of play. Took a shot at the end of that one, no flag comes out. Now it's decision time for Shane Richardson. You have it 3rd and 3 at the 36 of your opponent, trailing by 2 scores.
I say you go for it here. Down 27-13. Got to take a little bit of risks, especially in Limestone territory.
How about that stiff arm, too, from Josh Jones to avoid that sack? Keeping things doable on this 4th down. 4th and 3. Jones connects with the true freshman, Sean Brown. At 6'3", quite the target for the Braves, moves the chains.
High risk, high rewards for Shane Richardson. If they get the first down, keep the chains moving. And that is a huge first down. Trying to put some points on the board early in the 3rd.
Empty set for the Braves. 1st and 10. Again to Carter. Escapes a few into the red zone. Make that 11 more yards. Jones to Carter. We've been saying that a whole lot tonight.
And watch Tyshawn Carter here on the replay. Ball's thrown to his right side. He's going to turn to his left as the receiver was aiming for his right side, and that's going to get Carter a few extra yards on that pass. Tyshawn Carter, great awareness and a great play for the Braves.
Another first down for UNCP. Carter now 6 catches for 80 yards. He's been targeted 6 times, and he's caught all 6 balls his way. Sheridan falls forward for about a foot. The big play hasn't necessarily been there tonight for UNCP, with the exception of Fahim Diab. That 25-yard catch hasn't been much offensively downfield for the Braves.
And last week against Catawba, we saw plenty of big plays from the UNCP offense. A little bit of a different look tonight for the Braves.
Yeah, last week, Josh Sheridan had a career night in carries and total yards. Also a career-long 50-yard rush last week. And what do you know, the Braves again. A connection to the outside. That time, it's Trey Hickson on the reception. Those quick throws really working for UNCP.
And the underrated aspect of Josh Jones is his ball placement. He does such a great job placing the ball where only the receiver can get it. Not behind the receiver, just a little bit in front, so the receiver can extend, make the play, get the yardage.
Braves really pick it on Kendarius Frederick. That's number 15. He's at the top of your screen. They've thrown his way a couple of times now on this drive alone. 3rd and a yard. They give it to Josh Sheridan. 1st and goal for UNC Pembroke.
And it's a carry for Josh Sheridan, and it will be for another Braves first down.
Josh Sheridan may only have just under 60 yards of rushing this game, but he has had a lot of first down conversions in this one. Josh Sheridan just a long of 9 yards in this ball game.
Wholesale changes at the receiver positions for UNCP. Tamzir Sek, Sean Brown to the near side. Jones keeps on the option. Zigs and zags for 6.
There is a flag on the play.
5-yard rush, but a flag comes in. Might have been after the play. It was a late toss from the back judge. If it stands offensively, it's a 5-yard touchdown run for UNCP. They would trail it by 8, 27-19. Braves indicating a touchdown. Shane Richardson getting an explanation. All right, so had to read the official's lips there. I think what he said after the play, so it was offsides initially, we heard that. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Johnny Varga, and the Saints will apply that on the kickoff. So that's 15 yards. On the kickoff, Braswell is extra point still from the 3. And it's blocked for the second time tonight. Scooped up, but tripped up is Chandler Corley. Braves march downfield. 13 play, 75-yard touchdown. They trail it by 8 here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Fans, this evening we partnered with Housing and Residential Life to provide a fire game day experience for our first-year residential experience community. The goal to provide first-year students with engaging and dynamic out-of-the-classroom experiences. If you are a first-year student and are in attendance as a part of the fire game day experience, make some noise.
Josh Jones finds the end zone, this time on the ground. He's accounted for 2 of UNCP's 3 touchdowns. The other one, Josh Sheridan, rushing score for the Braves. Now it falls to their defense. Their offense, they've, for the most part, done their job tonight. Been pretty successful putting the ball in the end zone. Defensively, that hasn't been the story.
Yeah, watch this run from Josh Jones. Watch the awareness, finding the hole. Number 12 for 6 on this one.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to isolate an interior defender. Normally on that read option, it's the defensive end, but Jones had his eyes in the middle, so the defensive tackle attacking Sheridan. And that leaves the lane up the gut open for Josh Jones.
And how about the effort from Limestone? Not taking a break on any play tonight. They blocked 2 extra points tonight. That is key for the ending result of this game as UNCP is down 8.
And I'm sure through their film they saw Hunter Braswell. He likes to keep it low when he's kicking those extra points. This time keeps it short. Could take a bounce for UNCP. And the Braves certainly had a chance on it, but the Saints able to grab it.
Yeah, variety of Saints players not aware where the football was on this play, as you can see. UNCP almost having a golden opportunity to get this ball at midfield. Instead, Limestone will set up near midfield.
DJ Phillips hustles back out there. So we saw Morton for the 1 drive. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call for Phillips. He started to improve a little bit. 6 for 11 through the air, 137. Alec Morton, the backup, attempted just 1 pass and it fell incomplete. Jerkoya Patton. Nothing. Jordan Howard and Ben Jaramillo combining in the stop for the Braves.
That's a better job of UNCP stopping the rushing attack of the Saints. Short yardage gain there by Limestone. UNCP, they're going to need to see a little bit more of that in the second half. I think they were thrown off a little bit by that first drive from Limestone going through the air.
2nd and 9. Again to Patton. Nowhere to go, and that's a tackle for loss. 3rd and 10 now. Lowry, Vereen, Jaramillo. Team effort, swarming the football. That's something that Shane Richardson said his team did a much better job of last week against Catawba. Halftime adjustments for UNCP. And they'll look to keep it going. Big 3rd and 10. Phillips over the middle, in stride. Jawan Scott, the first down snag into Brave territory.
Scott.
UNCP focusing so much on the rush now. They've kind of let their secondary get a little bit flimsy in the second half. They've allowed a lot of big plays through the air in the second half now. Kind of a reversal for Limestone, going from the first half to the second half.
And that catch was impressive given the fact that Sean Hill absolutely nailed Jawan Scott, the freshman safety who has been incredibly impressive this year for UNCP. A couple of interceptions on the year. And Patton shoved back at the line of scrimmage.
Made by
Tay Vereen and Amari Bryce Green in the step.
And I think Limestone, they're going to take this one more to the air now, as they just kind of realize UNCP is stopping the run completely. They've made the halftime adjustments, and we have an injured Saint down on the field.
So UNCP trails it by 8. It's a game that the Braves, they took an early lead, 6-0. And then things kind of changed after that block extra point attempt, which now we've seen 2 blocked extra points, both kicks blocked by the Limestone Saints. But given the nature of this game and the fact that this Limestone team, they've lost 15 straight games, haven't won since late 2017, this doesn't look like a team that has had struggles like that.
Yeah, especially UNCP has been great at home this season. Their 2 wins coming here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium, and tonight they're looking for their 3rd win, but they're gonna have to stop Limestone tonight on the ground and through the air.
Braves have won their last 3 at home. That includes last season's home finale. Phillips uncorks over the middle. In and out of the hands of Jawan Scott. 3rd and 11. Ooh, he had a man wide open on the far sideline.
It was just enough coverage to force a 3rd and long for the Saints.
Third and 11. The Saints coming into tonight just 21% on 3rd downs. That was 155th out of 166th in the year. Phillips floats it to no man's land. 4th down.
Yeah, as you were saying, on 3rd downs for the Saints, they're 10 for 47 coming into this game on the year.
They're now 5 for 8 tonight, though, so that's certainly an area of improvement for Brian Turk's squad. Good to see Thomas Cook back out there, by the way. He took a shot to the leg in the first half, was a roughing the kicker penalty. He was out there to punt last year, 2nd team, all sack. Also doubles as the place kicker. Whistles before the snap. No flags. Reset it. AJ Coven, the long snapper. High kick over the head of Peeler and into the end zone. So the Braves offense is scored on a long drive, which that's kind of been the name of the game for them tonight. Haven't had many of those big play drives since that first drive. Now they have a chance at the touchdown and a conversion to tie this one up.
You spoke of the long drive. How about the time of possession tonight for the Braves? Almost 27 minutes. For the Saints, just about 12 minutes. So UNCP has had the ball for a very good amount longer than the Saints tonight, and the Saints still up by 8.
Really the opposite of what we saw last week against Catawba. For much of the first half and really the first 3 quarters, UNCP dominated in the time of possession factor. They were going very up-tempo. Tonight they've slowed things down a bit. We've even seen some huddles for them. Three, the motion man. 1st and 10. Time for Jones. And he connects with Quay 3. Stumbles, stays on his feet. Quay 3. Up to the 40. Gain of 40. And a UNCP first down.
UNCP finally gets their big play of the game. This one coming from Quay threat. Josh Jones. This ball looked a little bit tipped to the line, but Threat able to pull in the ball and run down the field into Saints territory.
Second catch of the night for Quay 3. Just over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Longest play of the game offensively for UNC Pembroke. Give to Sheridan. Good chunk on first down to the 33.
I think a possible flaw in UNCP's offense in the first half. They ran the ball a little bit too much. I think it was kind of predictable for Limestone, as in that first half,
2nd and 5.
Josh Jones only threw the ball 12 times. So I think they're doing a little bit of a mix-up in this second half, running the ball, throwing the ball a little bit more.
Jones, he's thrown 7 times in the second half, make that 8. Screen to Carter, and he spun almost out of a tackle. They're going to wrap up by Dejan Robinson.
This is a great play by Josh Jones. Turning back to the screen, and Tashawn Carter getting some good yardage. And that'll set up a 3rd and short for the Braves.
Carter, 7 catches, 84 yards. Leads UNCP in both receptions and yards tonight. Had 9 catches, 83 yards entering tonight, so he's already surpassed his season total from the first 3 games. 3rd and yard for UNCP. How about that stiff arm from Nelson, chugging his way into the red zone.
Carried by McKinley Nelson for another Braves first down.
It is so good to have a second option at running back in McKinley Nelson. You see the tough running here by Nelson. As he goes down, that ball is not fumbled as his forearm connected to the field, forcing the ball out.
Gain of 11 on the rush for Nelson. Spelling Josh Sheridan. Play action. 3, bobbled. Hauled it in. That's great concentration by the wideout.
A risky play by Josh Jones here, but he's able to put the ball right on the money, just a bit high, but the receiver's going to adjust and get the ball. An incredible catch.
And that whole time, Jones had his eyes up looking at the linebacker Wesley Robinson. Robinson attacked towards the line, and Jones makes that tight throw to Quay 3. 3 catches, 62 yards for 3. And a 2nd and 3 now for UNCP. That's Ruben Willis, the true freshman in his 2nd start. Calls for a false start. Backs UNCP up 5 yards.
Not many penalties in this ball game. That's just the 6th combined penalty between both teams in this one. 3 penalties for each team.
And the Saints have had a few offsides that the Braves declined because they got some completions that gave them more yards. 2nd and 8. 30 seconds to go in the third. Good throw to Hickson.
Jones's pass is complete to Trey Dixon, tackle made by number 6.
Only picks up 3. 3rd and 5.
After the gain of 2.
Josh Jones just a couple plays ago hit the 200-yard mark of passing in this one. He only has 3 incompletions for this game, so Josh Jones having a very solid game for the Braves.
We will take things to the 4th quarter. We have a ball game, folks, 27-19. Limestone Saints in front of your UNC Pembroke Braves. We'll take a break here on the UNCP Sports Network. Back after this.
Fans, get up on your feet and dance.
A big 3rd down for UNC Pembroke to start things in this 4th quarter. There's another close one here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. UNCP looking to win back-to-back games for the first time since November 2016. And Sheridan is tackled about 1.5 yards shy.
Tackle made by number 20.
And not much of a decision here for Shane Richardson to make. You trail it by 8 in the 4th.
4th and 2 from the 11-yard line.
14.5 to go in the 4th quarter and a 4th and 2. Plenty of room in the middle of the fields for UNCP. Right behind the D-line. And they go right there.
That will be enough for another Braves. First and goal.
1st and goal at the 6 for UNCP.
That was a pretty easy decision by Josh Jones. And that ball off. Plenty of room in the middle of the field for Josh Sheridan to go. Gets just enough for a UNCP 1st and goal.
McKinley Nelson in, Sheridan to the sideline. Trips on the near side of your screen. Nelson stood up. Christian Shoup, the redshirt senior, the tackle for loss. Shoup, 28th career appearance, plenty of experience. His dad actually was a walk-on at the University of Georgia, now a down Saint on the field. Brandon, how about the way the UNCP has responded in this 2nd half? Is it kind of what you expected to see?
Yeah, for sure. I think UNCP, they showed a little bit more effort in the 2nd half and improved on the defensive side of the ball. And the offense is moving down the field pretty easily. I think UNCP, like I said earlier on, I think they ran the ball a little bit too much in that 1st half. Do a little bit of a dual threat play option here in the 2nd half. And UNCP in this second half, they have passed the ball 10 times, where the entire first half, they only passed the ball 12 times.
Good news for UNCP as well. They have not allowed a single rushing yard in the second half. And that certainly factored into their defense's ability to get Limestone off the field. It was 27-13 at the half. Right now, 27-19. The Braves 8 yards away from pay dirt and an opportunity to tie the game. Rayshawn Griffin into the backfield at running back for UNCP. The power back checking in with 13 minutes to go. Jones floated for Hickson. Too much, 3rd and 8.
Josh Jones is getting a little bit too much on that ball. Not too much of a risk there, though, as it was 2nd and goal. We have a 3rd and goal now from about the 8. Shane Richardson, decision time. What are you going to do here on 3rd and goal from the Limestone 8?
Third and goal. Jones takes it himself. Josh Jones. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the night, 3rd overall.
And get ready for the 2-point conversion here by the Braves. Absolutely no reason to kick an extra point here, as it will do no good for the Braves. Josh Jones doing an excellent job reading here. Sees that he has open space to the end zone. Josh Jones is going to tuck this ball, run in. That'll be Josh Jones' 2nd touchdown. Actually, 3rd touchdown of the night. 2 on the ground, 1 through the air.
To tie the game. Low throw intended for Shaman Hicks.
And a crucial miss on the 2-point conversion. Still 13 minutes to go in this game, however. Plenty of time for UNCP to put up more points on the board.
And the Braves certainly have to be frustrated with themselves. Think back to that 2nd quarter. UNCP's defense stands strong, deep in their own territory, forcing a field goal. Kick was made, and then Thomas Cook hit after the kick, roughing the kicker, and Limestone ends up scoring a touchdown. So you take away that touchdown, put the field goal on the board. UNCP's up right now. So the Braves defense, they need to make another big stop, which is something they've been able to do in the second half. As we mentioned a few minutes ago, they have yet to allow a rushing yard.
And there were plenty of mistakes in that first half by the Braves. However, they have adjusted. They are not making those mistakes anymore. They've stopped the rushing attack. However, Limestone in this second half has had a lot of yards through the air. And that's a problem right now for UNCP. They need a stop here on this drive. Try and get some more points on the board. A field goal or a touchdown will do.
"13 minutes to go. UNCP trails it by 2. Good kick from Braswell. That's his 2nd touchback of the season.
Kick by Braswell, result in a touchback.
So it'll be the Pembroke defense trying to stop this Limestone offense. They absolutely gashed UNCP on the ground in the first half. They've had a little bit more success through the air here in the second. And look at this, Alec Morton back in for the visiting Saints. This will be a 2nd drive of the game. It's been predominantly DJ Phillips. Morton fakes and floats in stride to Jawan Scott, racing to the end zone. Touchdown, Limestone. 75 yards.
A bad play defensively by the Braves. However, if you want to look on the bright side, that drive did not allow a whole lot of time off the clock. There's still just less than 13 minutes remaining in this ball game, and they need a stop here on this extra point. Can make it an 8-point ball game still. UNCP can block this extra point.
Juwan Scott. The touchdown reception puts Limestone in the driver's seat. They lead it by 9 with 12:47 to go in the fourth quarter. UNC Pembroke's offense will have another opportunity here. And UNCP, they've been methodical offensively. They've taken their time. Now, pressed for time, they kind of have to get things moving a little bit quicker.
Yeah, the defense on that drive for the Braves, you let one play go for all that yardage, 75 yards through the air. That is just, that's unacceptable for the Braves. They've got to make a stop. The Braves are just within 2. You need a stop at one play for 75 yards for a TD. Braves defense needs some confidence as they will come back onto the field momentarily. But the Braves offense coming out there now, and they are looking to score.
Limestone, 15 straight losses. They are winless since October 21st, 2017. It was a victory over Newbury, but now in prime position to take down UNC Pembroke. A 2-score lead with 12:47 to go. Jones looking to get things started. Devin Jones with space. Devin Jones. Pushed out of bounds across the 40.
Devin Jones will get the 2. Runs out at the 42-yard line, and that is where the Braves will begin the drive.
Devin Jones here, a huge return, putting the Braves in good field position. Devin Jones last week finished with 96 return yards, including a 44-yard punt return last week. And he is making plays this week on special teams as well.
1st and 10 for Pembroke. Jones towards 3. What a snag by Quay Threet. Looks like he might have gotten 2 feet in on that one.
First down. We have an injured Saint in the
Injured Limestone player. Take a look at Jones, though.
Josh Jones rolling out. His primary target was defended well by the Limestone secondary, so he's going to take a little bit of a jog upfield, and Josh Jones is going to put the ball on his back shoulder. And that is a great throw by Josh Jones. Where only that receiver could catch that ball. I've said that so many times tonight because Josh Jones has done a phenomenal job with that type of passing accuracy.
It's Jatarius Sanders who's being assisted off the field now. He's walking a little limp on his left leg, the 6'5", 235-pound freshman. Now, we keep speaking about this Limestone streak, and to be fair to them, it's only their 6th year as a program. Have not had a winning season, so still growing, but a good chance for them tonight. By the way, the New York Jets actually just signed a Limestone alum. Vincent Smith, wide receiver, played a few years with the Houston Texans. As Fahim Diab lit up by Robinson in the safety spot.
Great tough tackling by Limestone, causing Fahim Diab to not be able to reel this one in. And it'll set up a UNCP 2nd and 10.
Second and 10, UNCP, 12-12 to go. They trail it by 9. Josh Sheridan gains a yard.
That previous play, that was Josh Jones's just 5th incompletion on the night. And a lot of those passes have been right to the receiver. The receiver just has not been able to get that one in. Great play tonight by Josh Jones. 233 yards through the air.
And Devontae Allen on that last stop. That brings up a 3rd and 9 for UNCP in a 4th down situation. Floated to the end zone. Knocked away. Phenomenal defense by Kendarius Frederick. Intended for Tyshawn Carter.
Tyshawn Carter had fingertips on this ball. This ball was about in the right placement by Josh Jones here. Tyshawn Carter just off the fingertips. We'll set up a 4th down, and it looks like UNCP will go for it.
Braves pretty much absolutely need to convert here. 4th and 9. 2-score deficit for UNCP. 3-down lineman, but the Saints show blitz. They bring 5. Jones, time, pressured, hit, turnover on downs.
Just nowhere for Josh Jones to throw the ball. Ultimately has to make a decision for the safety of himself on that one, and Limestone will get the ball back, unfortunately. However, it will be in their own territory.
And 11:24 to go, so ample time for UNCP to get a couple of possessions, but that starts off for their defense, and it certainly wasn't pretty on the last drive. 75-yard catch and run for Limestone, courtesy of Jawan Scott, the 5'8 speedster. Malik Brooks churns forward for 4. This has certainly been a competitive battle. Limestone, not intimidated, coming on the road. And hey, I'm sure it helps too when you start your season off against number 24 West Alabama on the road, then number 14 West Georgia. Good defense there by UNCP. Mari Bryce Green, the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Speaking for Limestone, this is a program that has absolutely nothing to lose coming into this game. Like you said, 15 straight losses for this program. They're going to put their heart and soul into this game, try and get their first win in almost 2 years.
10:20 to go in the ball game. Alec Morton, his 3rd drive at quarterback. DJ Phillips has been the primary QB tonight. Trips, top of your screen. Loaded single coverage. And pass interference is the call.
The Brave sideline does not agree with that one. Shane Richardson going over to the ref now to plead his case.
Michael Clark was in coverage. Let's see, Braves now clapping. Yeah, that's an uncatchable football. Big call. And that brings up 4th down. So that drive really only took up 2 minutes.
And UNCP now, as they get set to go back on offense, they will need 2 scores in this ball game. Down by 9. 8 is the max on 1 possession.
Good punt. Jones fields. Nowhere to go. Crushed. As soon as he caught that one, Kendarius Frederick made that big play defensively in the end zone. The tackle on special teams. Braves trail it by 2 scores. Under 10 minutes to go in the fourth here on the UNCP Sports Network.
The best moments of the game don't always happen on the field. The game-winning play for any tailgate is visiting your local Bojangles for all your tailgating needs.
Well, the Braves defense did exactly what they needed to do on that last drive, and for a second there, we thought we'd see defensive pass interference on Michael Clark, but an uncatchable ball not only gives the Braves the football back, but it stops the clock too. So there's still 9:46 to go, and if the Braves can score here, they're very much still in this one.
And now it's up to the Braves offense. They need to put some points up on the board, give some momentum to the Braves defense. Let them know that we're still in this game. We still have a fighting chance. And if the Braves score here, a field goal would do it. And if they can get a score, a touchdown on this drive.
And Josh Jones has been absolutely electric tonight. 20 for 27, 233 yards through the air. 1 touchdown, no picks, and on the ground as well. He's turned up some yardage, 5 carries, 27 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
And Josh Jones, coming into the night, passed for 469 yards through the first 3 games. And tonight, 233 yards passing.
See him go to the air again. Little screen to Quan Williams. Somehow evades a couple of tackles. And Williams turns what would have been a loss of yardage to a 6-yard catch and run.
Some shifty running by Williams after the reception.
2nd down and 3 from the 34-yard line.
The Braves have a plethora of options at running back. Obviously, Josh Sheridan, the feature back, but McKinley Nelson gets plenty of reps. Quad Williams is right there as well. We've seen Rayshawn Griffin get some carries. You have Sam Vines at fullback. That's certainly a position that you love to have some depth at. No running backs in there right now in the 2nd and 3. Almost picked. Should have been picked by Talon Campbell.
And UNCP will live to see another play after that one. Josh Jones just passing this one a little bit low. I think he thought he could get that ball through that tight window. However, 57 had his hands on it, drops the ball, and Josh Jones has to be relieved of that one.
3rd and 3. Jones connects. Sean Brown. That's 1st down yardage and more for UNC Pembroke.
That was a great job by Josh Jones. He's rolling out here on this play, as you can see on your screen. And 58 is coming with pressure. He stands there, however, and waiting to take the hit, passing the ball to number 84. That's good for the 1st down. Josh Jones, not afraid to take the big hit. That's what you love to see out of a quarterback.
Plenty of rollouts, designed rollouts for UNCP tonight. Offensive coordinator Johnny Cox in his 6th season calling the plays here at UNC Pembroke. Actually spent his season in the NFL as the Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver coach. Now the Braves look to take a shot. Jones able to get rid of it through the hands of Nelson.
Dangerous play by Josh Jones here as he's getting sacked. Kind of just tosses his ball into the air. It was a risky play by Josh Jones, but fortunately, it is ruled as an incomplete pass, and that will not be a huge loss for the Braves.
2nd and 10 for UNCP. They'll adjust the clock here. Play clock reset. Back to the action. Blitz comes. Good protection for Jones. Overshot. A wide open Tyshawn Carter. UNCP pleading for pass interference or defensive holding. Not going to get it.
Tyshawn Carter, he would have had a lot of space to run. But Josh Jones overthrowing Tyshawn Carter. It looked like there could have been a pleading for pass interference there on the Saints. However, that will not be the call. It will be 3rd down.
3rd and 10. The Braves absolutely have to convert here. 2-score deficit, 8 minutes to go. And a jump. Both teams pointing to the other team. This is a huge call. Based on the player's reaction, looks like it's encroachment.
Delay of game, disconcerting signals. Number 83 defense, 5 yards.
Yeah, well, that happens sometimes. Defensive linemen trying to mess with the offense, barking out some signals, trying to get the offensive lineman to jump. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Instead of a 3rd and 10, now it's the 3rd and 5. It's a little bit more manageable for Josh Jones and the Braves offense here in midfield.
For the Braves, you're going for 2 plays here. Obviously, you want to get it on 1. We'll see what they have dialed up, and a must-need 3rd and 5. Incomplete. Armonte Prillo in coverage.
That is another great play by the Limestone secondary as they force a 4th and 5. UNCP obviously going for it here.
Snelson at running back. McDonald's, Brown near side. Far side 3. And Carter. 4th and 5. Hit as he throws. Josh Jones to 3, and it's incomplete.
And this pass right here, just low. I don't know. I think that one might have been completed.
Let's try to take another look at that and replay.
This was a low pass by Josh Jones, however. It looked like the receiver made the catch, and the refs, a little bit of controversy going on here over whether that one was a catch or not. We think up here in the booth that one was reeled in.
Inside handoff to Patton. Picks up 3.
That is a tough call for the Braves, and that call might have cost them the ball game here.
2nd and 7. Phillips back in at QB for the visiting Saints. They keep it simple. Patton bounces to the edge. And checked out of bounds. 3rd down and manageable.
Made by Sean Everett.
Sean Everett on the stop. Now here's the thing for UNCP. You still have all 3 timeouts to go. The onside kick is obviously an option. They almost recovered kind of a pooch kick earlier in this game. Limestone will run every second they possibly can off the clock here. They have 14 seconds to snap it. Braves not out of it just yet, but they need a stop here. Third and 3. In space to Cedric Smith.
That one's going to hurt the Braves as well. DJ Phillips with the strike to Cedric Smith. Great find by DJ Phillips, the Marshall transfer.
Phillips averaging around 25 yards per completion. He's 9 for 17, 250 yards through the air. Delayed handoff. Brooks to the 24, picks up 3. And you look at this game, opportunities for UNCP were certainly there. The defense gave the offense some chances. A couple of drives where the Braves had to go for some fourth downs, and they just couldn't pick them up.
Limestone just came out to play tonight. This ball game is not over yet. Still 5 minutes to go. Anything can happen in college football.
Absolutely. Last weekend, UCLA, Washington State, Bruins overcoming a 32-point deficit midway through the third quarter in that one. That'll be close to the first down marker.
And North Carolina today keeping it close with number 1 Clemson.
Yep.
Just shy of a victory by 2 points. College football can be crazy sometimes.
Best sport in the world, that's for sure.
That is for sure.
It's a first down for Limestone, so they'll get even more opportunities to run out some clock. UNCP still with all 3 timeouts. Shane Richardson trying to stretch this out as much as he can so he doesn't have to use them. A rare under center look for Phillips, the 6'7" signal caller. Brooks, nothing going. Next week, UNCP, a tough challenge. They hit the road for the second time this season, making the trek out to Tennessee, taking on a very good Carson Newman squad, continuing sack play. Now, UNCP, an independent team, but they play a sack schedule. And it's one of the better conferences in D2 college football, so it's never easy. And for UNCP, if you have a game circled that you think, okay, that's a game we should win, this certainly that game.
It's been everything but that tonight for the Braves. Limestone has just come out ready to play tonight.
To the air. The dagger. Cedric Smith. He's really lit it up in the receiving game tonight. And DJ Phillips could have just sealed the deal right there.
40 points so far for Limestone in this one. They are having a huge night offensively. Looking to make it 41-25 in UNCP. This one looks to be all but over.
Still a 2-possession game, but time not on the side of the Braves, nor is the momentum. They trail it by 16. Cedric Smith now with 3 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Got to work quickly. At UNCP, they have all 3 timeouts left. If they're going to get back into this game, it'll take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and then a stop or an onside kick recovery, another touchdown, another 2-point conversion. So as you said, crazier things have certainly happened, but the odds not in the favor of the Braves right now.
And it's been a pretty disappointing game tonight for UNCP. They were expected to win this one against Limestone. 15-game losing streak for Limestone, and looks like in a little over 3 minutes they will win their first game in just under 2 years. That will be an incredible achievement for the Saints program.
41-25, Tamsir Sek back deep to receive. Native of Italy. With 3:24 to go. Short kick from Baker. Sek on the run back. To the 25, and that's it.
Sek returns it for the Braves.
Well, Josh Jones looking to orchestrate a miracle. A 16-point hold for the UNCP squad. That's in search of their first winning streak since November 2016. They have not won consecutive games since then. They were 2-8 last year, 2-8 2017. And they had a chance tonight to surpass their win total from both those 2 seasons. Tough sledding tonight, though. Completion to 3. Moves the chain, stops the clock to spot the football.
And it seems as if all the energy in the stadium has just been relinquished as the UNCP.
Jones looking for Carter. Frederick in coverage, incomplete.
Just looks like UNCP is going to go down here. They'll finish this game. 200, a little under 300 yards passing by Josh Jones tonight.
High throw, 3. Snags it, gets out of bounds. 3rd and medium for UNCP, under 3 minutes to go.
Time is just ticking away off of the game clock right now.
And man, what a performance by the Limestone Saints. Jones to Sheridan. Shifty up to the 40. Gains 18. And the Saints, their first 2 games this season against ranked opponents, they battled. They were competitive against West Alabama and West Georgia. Last week against Tusculum, 28-point loss. So they were on the downward. But tonight, completely outplaying UNC Pembroke. Braves, though, looking to rally. Have to get going quickly. Jones to the end zone. And Carter couldn't catch up to it.
Incomplete intended for Carter. 2nd down to the 39-yard line.
And an injured Saint. It's Kelvin Atkins, the redshirt senior last season, 2nd team all-conference. Then 2 years ago, excuse me, last year he didn't play at all with an injury. This is a game that UNCP scored first. You kind of figured, okay, Braves favored in this one. They'll keep it rolling. But the Saints, they showed no quit, and they've controlled really since that opening drive for UNCP.
This one's a little bit of a shocking upset by the Braves. Might give them a little dose of reality. And you have to wonder, will the Braves looking forward a week to Carson Newman next week, possibly overlooking Limestone tonight?
Second and 10, clock stopped after the incompletion. Blitz comes. Tunnel screen, Marcus McDonald. body slammed after the whistle. And they're going to mark forward progress. UNCP calls a timeout. Manny Ogletree, the aggressive tackle. And the Limestone Saints firing up. Their traveling fans making the trip from Gaffney, South Carolina.
Not a whole lot of fans out there for Limestone tonight, but the ones that did make the trip up north from South Carolina, they got a treat tonight for their Limestone Saints. And unfortunately for UNCP tonight, fans of the Braves, they'll go home wondering what could have been tonight. The mistakes in the first half, the rush defense in the first half by the Braves. Limestone tonight, Malik Brooks, 1 yard short of 100 yards, 9 attempts and 99 yards tonight. And Jerkoya Patton, 12 carries, 79 yards, 3 TDs.
Yeah, that's the number that sticks out. 4 rushing touchdowns tonight for the visiting Saints. That's their bread and butter. They'll run the football on you. And if you can't show you can stop them, that's it. The Braves in the first half couldn't stop them. They've improved in the second half. 3rd and 10. And they bring the house. Flag comes in late as Jones tossed down. Let's see who the flag is on. Rashawn Griffin called for holding. Penalty is declined. 4th and a mile.
And this one most likely one play from being over. Limestone could take knees, go into the victory formation if UNCP does not convert here.
Minute 44. 4th in the ball game. Incomplete to Quay 3. Perlow knocked it away. And Limestone, a minute and a half from picking up their first win since October 21st, 2017. And they're going to do it on the road.
This was not a fluke victory tonight by Limestone. They earned this victory. Malik Brooks, Jerkoya Patton, Cedric Smith.
DJ Phillips takes the knee for head coach Brian Turk, who was named the interim head coach with 2 games left in the season last year. And what a job he has done with this program. Revamps his coaching staff, both sides of the football. And for a team that last year was winless, they enter Pembroke 0-3, coming off of their worst loss of the season. They, like you said, Brandon, completely outplayed UNCP tonight. It was not a fluke.
Phillips takes another knee.
And it is an unfortunate ending tonight for the Braves, as next week they have a tough contest, as you said, John, against Carson Newman. They'll have to overlook this game tonight and head in with a fresh mindset next week.
The officials trying to contain the Limestone sideline. They're fired up, rightfully so. One more knee, and that's it. Losing streak, no longer. 41-25, the Limestone Saints snap a 15-game skid dating back to October 21st of 2017. The monkey is off their back.
The Limestone Saints have defeated the Braves 41-25.
For UNCP, on the other hand, obviously a lot of optimism coming into tonight. They played some really good football coming into this matchup, especially at home. But, Brenton, they just didn't seem to have it tonight.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes in the first half by UNCP. It looked like they corrected a lot of those mistakes into the second half, but the defense I don't think they accounted for the passing game from Limestone, as Limestone took it to the air and they took it to the Braves tonight. And they put a lot of points on the board tonight in that second half, and UNCP unable to keep up with the Saints.
Limestone, after rushing for 170 yards in the first half, just 11 rushing yards in the second. It was that aerial attack. Phillips and Morton, they brought both quarterbacks in. Brian Turkey knows quarterbacks. He worked with Connor Shaw and Dylan Thompson down under the old ball coach at South Carolina, and he made it work tonight, that's for sure, as his Limestone Saints pick up their first win since 2017. They moved to 1-3 in the season. UNCP falls to 500, 2-2. And they head out to Tennessee next week against the Eagles of Carson Newman. What's your biggest takeaway from this one tonight?
Well, I think the Braves, they need to improve defensively tonight. After what you saw tonight, I don't think they accounted for all aspects of the Limestone offense. It looked like one half they accounted for passing the ball, one half they accounted for rushing the ball. They need to kind of combine the two, especially against a tough Carson Newman team on the road next week. Early start time, 1 p.m. It's going to be a battle. But UNCP, if we can see, we saw what we saw last week for UNCP against Catawba. They have a fighting chance against Carson Newman. Anything can happen in college football, but as for tonight, UNCP is going to go home with a loss and a lot of disappointment down there for the Braves.
Josh Jones accounts for over 300 total yards of offense and 3 total touchdowns as well. But it's not enough as the Limestone Saints take down UNC Pembroke, the Braves falling at home for the first time this season, 41-25. My broadcast partner to my right, Brandon Hodge, our director tonight, Dave Nguyen, and all of our production team here at the UNCP Sports Network. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us, and we will be back with UNCP football next Saturday as the Braves take on Carson Newman.